What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you why you probably feel lazy, but you're actually not. So I feel like this happens a lot where you start to feel, exhausted, unmotivated, lazy. But a lot of the times it's not really your fault, and it's not necessarily something that you have brought upon yourself, right? You start to kind of go through the motions. Maybe it's at your job. You just wake up, work, come back home, sleep, do whatever, watch Netflix, and you just kind of feel unmotivated, tired, exhausted, all of the above, right? And maybe even a little bit of depression, I don't know. But I think during these time periods when you feel like this, especially with the last year being locked inside, due to the COVID pandemic, I think a lot of people found themselves in this kind of like cyclical era, right? Of just like unmotivated, maybe possibly slightly depressed. I mean, I feel like we've all felt that, right? But it's important to keep in mind that it's not really a factor of like you as a person in terms of being lazy and not having a good work ethic, but it's simply because you just haven't found your passion. And I feel like that's a lot of people out there. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of go over some of those reasons why you might feel lazy, but you're not in reality, because you just simply haven't found your passion. So we've kind of gone over some of the reasons or some of the thoughts that you might have or the feelings that you might have, but what's really something that you can do to maybe help yourself get better in this arena and get you one step closer to either finding your passion or finding something that's extremely close to it so that maybe it's on the cusp of finding it. So first, what I want you to do is go ahead and make a list of the things that interest you. You're gonna take out a couple pieces of paper, and on one, we're gonna start with making a list of the things that interest you and the things that you love doing daily. So these are things like hobbies, tasks, activities, any general kind of thing that you do that you truly enjoy doing every single day. So just start top down. They don't have to be in really any particular order. Just kind of go ahead and start doing bullet points of the things that you like doing daily. So again, it's important to remember that these don't really have to be in order of importance. Just again, start bullet pointing things and start putting down just things that you truly enjoy doing daily or very, very often, right? Like things that you've always done, things that you always do that are enjoyable to you and bring fulfillment in your life, but maybe you just never thought of them in a way of monetization. So just write them all down. It doesn't matter what they are. For me personally, my list would look something like helping others is like a blanket statement. I just love the feeling that it gets when I help somebody, or I've helped them through something, or I've given them something that's helped them, or whatever the case may be. I just like helping others. So put that down. I also love like just content in general. Like I consume a ton of content through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the case may be, but I also love creating it as well. So that would be another thing that I'd put down. Also real estate and cars. So I'd put all of those things down on the list of things that I like doing daily. I like looking at pictures of homes. I like being in homes, touring homes. I like driving fast cars. I like being in them. I like looking at them. So I would put all those things down, right? And then you're gonna take that piece of paper that you just did of all the things that you love doing daily, move it over to the side and start on the second list, which is making a simple list of your strengths and weaknesses. This isn't really like a pros and cons sort of list. It's just kind of on one side you have your strengths, the things that you're good at, and on the other side you have your weaknesses, maybe the things that you aren't as good at or the things that you could improve, that sort of thing. And honestly, as simply as I can put it, you wanna put on one side what you're good at and on the other side what you suck at. And so again, for me, from a personal example, on the strength side, I'd probably put, I'm great at communicating effectively and maybe like marketing, right? Or just like branding or whatever. Like I'd put that on some strengths. And then on the weaknesses, I'd put things like time management, sticking to a list of things to do. Those really kind of extremely important things that you kind of need in running a business, whatever. I'm just not great at those. So like I'm gonna put those on the weaknesses side, keep the things that I'm good at on the strength side. So now you've got your two pieces of paper and you're gonna get a desk, or just sit down on the floor or whatever and put them both in front of you. So on one side, you're gonna have the list of things that you enjoy doing daily. And on the other side, you're gonna have your strengths and weaknesses list. And you're gonna put them side by side. And then next up, and this is the third step really in this, is you're gonna take both of them side by side and compare them. And just kind of get your brain going to see exactly what's going on between those two pieces of paper. You wanna see what correlates, maybe turn the wheels on an idea that you have, maybe an avenue that you could explore, something, right? So keep going back and forth between the list. You wanna look at the things that you're good at, and then you wanna take a look at any correlation between maybe something that interests you daily. And as you're doing this, you'll kind of start to connect some dots here, right? You'll start to maybe see like an interest of yours or like a hobby that you like doing kind of correlates with maybe something that you're good at. It kind of directly links to some of your strengths and not necessarily the weaknesses. So also in this, you want to think to yourself, like, am I solving a problem? Am I providing entertainment? Like, what am I trying to do with maybe this interest that I have using my strengths? And also while you're doing this, I mean, what's great about the internet is that it's full of information, so you can kind of think about different ways to monetize this passion as well. Because just because something's been done a traditional way for years and years and years, doesn't mean that that has to be the way that you do it either. So again, this is just kind of an information gathering stage to maybe think about different things that you could do that directly correlate between your strengths and also interests that you have in like topics doing daily, right? So you've made your list, you've gone over your strengths and weaknesses, maybe correlated them to some interests that you might have. And the fourth and final step really in this like exploration of finding your passion is really just game plan, baby. Like, it is go time. It is time to figure out what you want to do, where you want to start, and how you want to go about it. The key with any of this is just once you figure out that thing, you just have to stick to it. I mean, consistency is key in really anything. You have to have good consistency, you have to be persistent with it, and you also have to have great discipline in order to kind of make some of these things come to fruition. So if it's creating content, for example, you want to put out relevant content daily, and you want to make sure that you're just giving, because eventually enough people will see that content and they'll start to gravitate towards your page, and then you're at 500 followers, then you're at 1,000 followers, then you're at 5,000 followers, 10,000, 20,000, like whatever the case is. You just want to create content, right? So you just want to do it consistently and be extremely relevant with what you're doing to make sure that you never lose sight of that fact, of that thing that you put down on the piece of paper first, which is why you like doing it daily. When you do find that thing, you do find your passion that just drives you, when you're working on it, you might work on it 10, 12, 16 hours a day, but it doesn't ever really feel like work. Like, yeah, you're working, but at the same time, it's so enjoyable to you that the positives outweigh the negatives. And like, yeah, you might have some stress, yeah, you might get some tiredness, but at the end of the day, like, it just drives you and gives you total fulfillment. And I think that that's really where you can find your sweet spot of doing what you love, but also monetizing your passion. Because if you continue to just chase the money, you're always going to be running after it, right? You're never going to be leveraging the money. You're never going to, be doing anything outside of just chasing the money, right? If you have a job, like a standard job, like a 9 to 5 or whatever, and it brings you fulfillment, you've hit the jackpot, right? Like, it was hard for me to maybe be like an employee per se, in the sense of I didn't like being told what to do. Like, my entire life was that way. So I knew that if I wanted to kind of be, happy fully, I had to probably do something that was on my own for myself, because I just didn't enjoy people telling me what to do. Like, you told me not to speed, I'm gonna speed because I didn't like that you told me not to, right? So like, that's kind of where my head was at. So that, for me personally, that worked. If you're watching this right now, it will pay off and you will be happy. And you're probably gonna fail along the way, but that's okay, because we're supposed to fail until we succeed. So that way, when you do succeed and you get to reap the benefits of all that work you put in, you can look back and be like, we rocked this motherfucker. So that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. If you had any, sort of ideas or feedback or whatever, drop them down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, drop me one of these down below. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? But no, in all seriousness, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you like videos like this and other videos that I put out recently. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned until the next one. Peace.